And timer starts. Welcome everybody to a 20-minute HIIT workout. Today we're gonna be doing lower body and core. The only pieces of equipment we're gonna need is a lacrosse ball and a mini band and a set of rings if you want assistance for some of the movement patterns. Now, I don't wanna take up much time because the clock is a-ticking. The first thing we're gonna focus on is doing some myofascial release on our glute. We wanna be able to activate the tissue of our booty a little bit better. So we're gonna put the ball under our glute, shift our weight to the side, and do about 45 seconds per side. Now, I look for sensitive tissue. I kind of circle around once I find a spot. Deep breaths, just staying relaxed. Again, you can adduct and abduct your leg to the ground, whatever feels comfortable. Depending on how much body mass you have, it might be hard to hold yourself up in this position, so you might need to kind of like lay back a little more. If you're someone who's very small and petite, this might be pushing into some really deep tissue, maybe hitting you in the bone. You might need to use a tennis ball or relieve some tension here. So just take deep breaths, find those spots that hurt. 45 seconds about per side. There we go, let's switch. Now, today's workout, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing. So we're gonna have 4 exercises. Again, the goal today is to work our lower body and our core. We're gonna work a movement pattern of knee flexion to work our quads, a movement pattern to work our hamstrings and glutes of hip hinging, and then we're gonna do 2 different core movements. We're gonna do all 4 of those movements in a row, and then we're gonna repeat that circuit as many times as we can in this 20-minute period. Now the clock's ticking down now, so we're gonna try to get to that pretty soon here. But again, the goal is to keep our heart rate elevated. I programmed this workout so, maybe there's a challenging exercise with something a little easier after, and then it gets more challenging, just so you can try to keep your heart rate elevated and not have to take too many breaks. And then at the end of this workout, good. Next, we're gonna use this ball on our calf. We're gonna do about 20 seconds per side here. I put it under my knee and I smash my calf against my hamstring. When I find a spot that's tender, I make small circles with my ankle. Now, depending on how many rounds we finish today, I want you to write that down. Because if we perform this again, switch your ankle the other direction. If we perform this again, I want us to try to beat how many rounds that we did. So the goal is every time we perform this workout, if we do it again, let's try to do a little bit more. Again, I squeeze that ball, and then I just make big circles with my calf. Again, just trying to dig the tissue of my calf and my hamstring into the ball, get a little movement. This is, again, just gonna help promote blood flow, fluid dynamics. Tight tissue is kind of like a dried sponge. It's not very pliable, and it's more likely to break, tear. So again, we're just trying to rehydrate the tissue. Good. Okay, next, I want us to do lunged rotations, one of my favorite ways to go through a long range of motion quickly. From a push-up position, we take one hand or one foot, we bring it outside the hand, rotate the arm up. On the bottom, I touch my forearm. Now, when you do the other side, again, check, do you feel any different in mobility on each side? If that's really challenging, from your knee. Again, we're doing 10 per side here. Do these from your knees. And again, how well can we move? How well can we get into these positions? If we can't get into these very well, we got to do some more mobility work. That's where those daily mobility videos come in handy, and we start our morning with those. Because the older we get, the more challenging it's going to be to get in these positions. And if we can't get in these positions, if we ever fall into a position like this, we're going to tear something. If we're ever sitting in a low chair, we're not going to be able to access the strength in that part of the range of motion because we can never get there. Deep breaths. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple locked out. Again, I'm just trying to quickly go through this to get some blood flow going, warm us up as quick as possible. I made these short workout series because I know the biggest constraint is time for most people, as well as it's hard to convince people to start doing 60-minute workouts if you haven't worked out in a long time. So I think this is the perfect way to get some quick stimulus. Last ones. I'm gonna tie my shoe here. Okay, good. Next up, if we have a mini band, we're gonna perform mini band lateral walks. We're gonna do about 60 seconds here. It's our last thing for the day. Then we're gonna start working out. Okay, 15 minutes and 20 seconds, so we're gonna try to move here. I'm taking big lateral steps with this band on. My feet are straight, I'm not turning them out, and my knee is not collapsing in. I'm making sure it tracks over my toes. Deep breaths. Trying to stay calm. Make sure this guy is on and plugged in good. Almost there. 20 more seconds. My abductors of my glute are really firing here. This is important tissue to have strong as we get older, because this is gonna really help provide a lot of stability in the joint. Ball and socket joints, our hips and our shoulders are the most complex because they have such long ranges of motion, which means they're a little less stable. So we gotta do a good job of strengthening the connective tissue around them to make sure they're safe and that they're gonna be strong again as we age. Okay, that's our warm-up, guys. The 4 movements we're gonna perform today. We're gonna be doing a squat using the rings if you have them. If you're strong enough and you don't wanna use the rings for assistance, do a regular squat. When we're done with that, we're gonna lay down, do a single-legged glute bridge. When we're done with that, we have a dead bug. When we're finished with that, we have a kneeling mountain climbers. We have a little over 14 minutes left. I wanna get right to it. So, squat. While holding onto the rings, using a little support, my butt goes back. I have an upright torso. I'm not relying on them to stay upright. I drive up, squeeze my butt and belly. Open my hips. We have 15 repetitions here. Deep breath. We're gonna be doing 15 reps of everything today. 9. Make sure we're opening those hips up, right? The knees are not collapsing in. We're really pushing our hips open. Play around with stances, maybe wider, maybe more narrow. Okay, next. We're laying face up. 15 single leg glute bridge. So, legs are bent at about 45-degree angle. One leg is up in the air. I drive through the heel of the foot. I squeeze my butt all the way down with my hips. 15 total. My belly is braced the whole time. It's nice and tight. If I feel anything in my lower back, it's because I'm over-exaggerating the arch of my back, which we do not want. Belly braced. Neutral spine. Almost there. Should be feeling this in your glute and hamstring. Over there, you probably felt it more in your quad, so it's a good yin and yang. Deep breaths. A lot of people, if you don't feel this in your glute, one of the reasons could be we don't have the proprioception, meaning you're not able to connect the neural pathway, right? The call center can't connect because there's interference. Part of that interference could be because tissue's too tight. It's not getting the signal, okay? Metaphor for that. Or you just haven't used that tissue in a long time and your body forgets how to use it. Dead bug, I gotta stay where I'm at. Okay, next up, we have 15 reps per side of a dead bug. Knees up at 90, elbows at 90. I extend opposite limbs out and then I bring them back. Most important part, posterior tilt, lower back press to the ground, okay? Maintain that. Opposite limbs, belly down. That's the most important thing. As soon as you do that tilt of your pelvis and pull your knees into your chest, you're really gonna feel your core activate. This is anti-extension, one of my favorite types of core exercises. So important. Deep breaths. We got a lot of volume. If this gets really hard and you start to feel your lower back and arch, what you can do, just lock your legs out up in the air and your arms out up in the air. Make it easier on yourself. 5 left each side. When we're done with this, we're gonna get into a kneeling push-up position. Almost there. Really keep that good pelvic tilt, belly down. Last one each side. And beautiful. Okay, next, let's get into the kneeling push-up position. We're gonna do a scaled version of a mountain climber. From here, I'm gonna keep my weight forward. I make sure I go into a posterior tilt, maintain a neutral spine, don't wanna arch my back. My left knee comes up, ooh, touch my left elbow. Right knee up, ooh. We go back and forth. If you need to put a pillow under your knees, go ahead and stop the video and do that. Really think of trying to abduct up that leg too. Lift it up high, don't keep it low as you bring it up. Be able to work on a little bit of hip health at the same time as we're working our core here. And you also get to isometrically work out your upper body because you got to hold this push-up position. If your wrist hurt here, you can do this from a plank position. As long as we're moving and you guys are keeping your heart rate up and working your core, I'm happy. Scale this however we need. But if you can't hold this position because your wrist hurt, you're gonna have to watch the wrist flexion protocol video to help work on that a bit. To be honest, I totally lost count. That's what happens in my training sessions too. I run my mouth, I'm having fun with a client, and then I lose count. So I'm gonna say one more on each side. If you guys trust me for a count and I let you down, you guys get off scot-free if it's a little early. Okay, squats again. I'm gonna do them facing this way for you guys now. Open up those knees, stand tall, squeeze butt and belly. Maybe you feel more comfortable with feet here, maybe here, maybe here. Whatever you do, no turning your toes out really wide. You can't create the external rotation and stability in your hip if you don't corkscrew your feet, okay? So think of doing that with your foot, okay? And create that sensation of your knees going out without actually moving your feet. If you find that your torso is falling forward a lot, we gotta work more on ankle dorsiflexion to keep your torso more upright. Look under the ankle dorsiflexion protocol under mobility to fix that. Okay, 15 single leg glute bridge. Here we go. Squeeze that butt, hips high. Again, this pairs really well because those squats get your heart rate up. And then here we get a slight break. We get to isolate our glutes, usually a weak muscle on most individuals, while also allowing our heart rate just to lower a little bit. 15, good. Switch sides. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Full hip extension. Don't be lazy here and just do these quarter reps. 12. Ooh, it burns. Back of my leg, hamstrings cramping up. Oh, okay. Now, dead bug. Knees up, elbows up. How much time we got? 8 minutes, 16 seconds. Let's keep our head down, see if we can finish out another round and a half or so. And again, let this play out, guys. Try your best to work through this, but be safe. Take a break if you really feel your heart rate's elevated, you feel dizzy, nauseous. But the goal is every time you perform this, you should be excited because you get to mark down how well you did last time and then try to beat it. Okay, that's 10 and 10. Again, belly down is the most important part. I can't fit my hand in here. Every rep I do, I'm pressing that belly all the way down. And good. Okay, flip over, kneeling push-up. Mountain climbers, knees high. I tried to program these workouts so you guys work out important movement patterns because I'm frustrated from seeing people in the gym waste their time or people just doing the wrong thing, so I want to help. So I hope you guys are enjoying this workout. I hope you kind of see some of the reasoning behind the programming, why some of these exercises are so great. Anything can get your heart rate up, but not everything will also work cardiovascular health, work strengthening joints in different positions and ranges of motion, strengthening a lot of muscle groups at once, building useful strength that's going to translate into the real world, work stability of joints. Last ones, and good, okay. Next, back to the squats. How are we doing on time? Sweating here, a little over 6 minutes. Open those hips up, use the rings. Again, I don't want you guys leaning back on the rings and turning this into a false squat. I could never let go and hold myself here. I want this to be as close to a real squat as possible. Use the rings however you can for support. Keep them close to your body, pull them down, make them longer to help out. Again, treat it more like a pull-up, but do not turn this squat into something that wouldn't be feasible and possible if the rings weren't here. Last one. 15, make sure we're getting to 90 degrees. That's where the rings can help you, help assist you into a deeper position. Glute bridges. This workout's a little easier, I think, from a cardiovascular standpoint because we get to be on the ground a lot more. But it's a lot of core work. And if you do this quick, I mean, man, you'll keep your heart rate up. Good, switch. Nose breathing, trying to stay calm throughout this is really important. There's a book called The Oxygen Advantage. I believe the guy's name is Daniel McGowan. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. But he talks about nose breathing and how if we practice only breathing in and out through our nose if we can, if you don't have a deviated septum, if you practice that, we'll be better at excreting carbon dioxide or maintaining higher levels of it in our bloodstream, and it'll make us aerobically fitter. So ever since that, I try to do as much nose breathing as I can. But I just am yapping for 20 minutes straight at you guys, so excuse me if I mouth breathe a little. Also, you guys let me know from your user experience of doing these videos, am I talking too much? Do you want me to talk more about cues while I'm doing these videos? Do you want me to talk about nutrition or other, fundamental concepts of fitness? Let me know. I'm gonna get better at this throughout this process. So thank you for being here again. I really appreciate you letting me chase my dreams of helping people be healthier. And I promise I'm gonna keep getting better at this to give you a better product and better service. So again, I love you. I really, really, really appreciate you being here. I'm really excited to help you out. And good, okay, flip on over. So I think we're gonna get through one more full round. My watch is showing a little over 3 minutes left. Deep breaths. Really trying to crunch on my side here. Again, not letting my lower back arch, trying to maintain a neutral pelvis. Deep breaths. Little under 3 minutes left. Almost there, almost there. And, ooh, good. Okay, 2.5 minutes left, guys. Give you some more squats from here. This is what, our 4th round? Deep breaths, open those hips up. Might be the most important bilateral movement we do is getting good at squatting. You're gonna sit and stand forever. When you do squats with a load, my goodness, it works out every muscle in your body. It's so efficient. But again, we gotta have good symmetry in our joints like I was mentioning earlier. Okay, 15. Less than 2 minutes. See if we can get this round out. And because we're doing this 20-minute workout, we're probably burning around 150 to 200 calories. Now, this takes 20 minutes to burn that many. So in an hour, you burn about 600. Guys, in 5 minutes, you could eat 600 calories. So we need to remember the calories in to calories out. It's a lot more effort for calories out to burn calories. So we need to be smart when it comes to our nutrition if we're worried about our body composition. If you're not, and you just want to eat the foods that you love and live your life, but also exercise for heart health and strength and connective tissue and all these important things, that's different. But if you want to change your body composition, calories in, calories out, and the macronutrients you eat are the most important things. Good, okay, it's Deadbug now. All right, let's see how much time we got left. A minute left. Deep breath. Probably an annoying noise for me to make to you guys, so I'll shut my yapper as I do it again. We're halfway with the Deadbugs. Again, make sure your lower back is not feeling it. If you guys have to just hold this position and you don't feel your lower back working here, just hold this and count in your head for 45. And good. 10 seconds left. So we almost finished 4 rounds. Maybe next time I perform this, and that's it. That's 20 minutes, guys. Again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for working hard. I'm excited to see the results you get in the future. Please keep in touch, ask questions, let me know how I can help. And we got a good community together here, so I'm excited for you to meet everyone and for everyone to share their results, and just keep trying to get better. It's the most important thing. Do it for yourself, do it for the future you, do it for the people you love that are around you, that want you around and to be well. So thank you again. Love you guys, and I'll see you at the next workout.